Happy Halloween, dungeon dwellers! Just like the purple guy, though we may go away for a time, we always come back. What's going on, dungeon dwellers? Welcome back to Dave's Dungeon. I am, as always, the one, the only, Dungeon Master Dave, bringing you another episode of Spooktober 2023. The last episode of Spooktober for this year. Today, for Halloween! Happy Halloween, Dungeon Dwellers! We made it! Today, for this final episode, we're going to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's! This is a new movie that just came out this year. This is a Blumhouse and Universal picture. It is an hour and 49 minutes long, or as we like to know it, and 109 minutes long. The writers on this are Scott Cawthon himself, Emma Tammy, who is also the director, and Seth Cuddyback. I gotta say, this review for me was a little torn because I happen to be a longtime, I guess you'd call me a veteran. I've played all the games. I've done the 10 hours of research it takes to get what I would call your PhD in FNAF. I'm a fan. I've done the homework, all right? So this is going to be my review from the perspective of somebody who's explored this. And this is a long one, so if you're not ready, strap in. Get something to drink. Pause this. We'll be here. You need refreshments. So without any further ado, let's get into the body count. We have one previous security guard looking for new employment and a way out. One talking in your sleep callback to 80s retro jam that lets us know exactly when this takes place. The song came out in 1983, which is an important year to us FNAF fans. One, I'm not sure this machine has been checked for safety foo. Security guard loosens a bolt foo for later. We'll see it. He's also let go. And this thing, some people are not going to understand what this is. It looks like the security mask from FNAF 2, but it also looks like a remnant extractor. But it also reminds me of reference to Scooper, a la FNAF sister location. So if I just said a whole bunch of words and you're all like, huh? Yeah. We got a lot in store for today. Stay tuned. One, wall of kids' drawings with clear victims' drawings mixed in. Because that shiny yellow bunny is important. For those of us who know, we immediately freaked out when we saw that. One, 5 kids lured to the backstory. Told in video game graphics akin to FNAF 2. Because of course it is. And I gotta say, this lets you know exactly what kind of movie this is. Some people aren't going to understand who this movie is for. And we'll talk about that in the gory details, okay? 6 a.m. short on the first day, or start. I said short. Start on the first day. Complete with actual alarm sound minus the yay! One, meet Mike and Abby introduction. Abby sleeps in a tent, and Mike is her brother, not her dad. We don't know what happened to Dad, and we'll talk about that in the gory details as well. And Mom's dead. One, but that's just a theory. A dream theory. Game theory and FNAF 4 reference all in one. It's one of Dad's books, which for some of us I wanted more out of that. You'll understand when you see it. But, meh, I can deal. One, sir, get on the ground. Like, uses police brutality against an innocent guy. One, recognizing the last name scene. Getting polite after recognizing an old friend's kid. And this scene is so important to what FNAF fans were looking for out of this film and why this is going to be a different movie for certain people. Some people are going to have one experience and you're not going to understand them. And some people are going to have what I guess you would call the traditional experience of why is this a thing? When we get to the gory details, I'll explain it a little bit more. One, job that's not so great. It's got shitty pay, no benefits, and the absolute worst hours. Because, of course, it's overnight. But with the rent due, babysitter unpaid, and an aunt who wants the sister, we're desperate enough we're ending up taking this job. One, imaginary group of friends that also thinks Big Bro is an idiot, and so do I. One, sleepy peep in them trees, boy, and freed their souls. He wanted to go trance out and find out where they took his bros and drift away in his dreamscape. Yeah, take me away. He definitely doesn't want to be there. One, picture worth 1,000 words and makes communication with Abby interesting. One, job description from the phone guy that's super important. Raglan makes a phone call back. Because we're night security guards and we got to be told what we're doing, and that's very important to this whole thing. Without that, it'd have been like not having a fat lady. One, shit, here we go again. I've played this game before, turning on the cameras for the first time. One, Wendy's associate training videos wrap that you'll want to Google later, I promise you. Just watch the Wendy's associate training cold drinks, hot drinks, and slides. Or sides and potato sides. I promise you won't regret it. One, Showtime button that you should have probably left alone. Glitchy It's Me callback. One, fuck you, balloon boy. Jump scare that is lore accurate. 5, fully practical animatronics from Jim Henson Studios with Cupcake. And everybody's going, oh my God, the animatronics are so good. I'm going, of course they're good. They're by Jim Henson Studios. 1, making new friends while playing CSI, Special Crime Units in your dreams. Because Mike thinks he's going to be able to figure this out while he's sleeping. 1, babysitter Max is in on it with Aunt to get Abby. And brought the lawyer, which they should not have done. They should not have done that. He was not supposed to hear any of that. 1, why don't we kill him, mess up his workplace, and rob it so he can just get fired? I mean, it seemed reasonable, except you're going to rob this pizzeria. If this was a normal place, this might have worked. 1, you might say he got hooked on figuring it out. Yeah! We're on the road again. If you know what I'm doing, I love you. 1, getting scratched in your dreams ends up making you get scratched for real. Freddy lore. 1, oh shit, it's the cops meeting Vanessa for the first time. Hey, I know my rights, lady. You need to leave unless you have a search warrant, probable cause, or reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime being committed or about to be committed. No, you're not going to leave? Okay. 1, a little light police questioning, but she's cute, so why not? 1, hey, have you met them? It's showtime! Meeting the group, and I gotta say, everybody who says this moment is not scary enough, you haven't played the games. And we'll talk about why I think the people who've played the games are going to experience this movie differently than the people who are going, this isn't scary enough. 1, missing kids story that should have been really more dove into right here, but it's 2 hours long, so you had to cut something. 1, break-in as soon as security and the police leave. That almost defeats the purpose of having security. 1, this is their home. You shouldn't have done that. Complete. Freddy and friends get revenge. Complete with Chica cupcake food. Bonnie cleaning closet food. Ventilation shaft foo, supersonic fox foo, Freddy ventriloquism foo with full bite radius and force demonstration. 1, gratuitous use of cartoon giraffe swallowing cutaway to finale what just happened, because this movie is PG-13, just like the games. If you don't know that, you'll know that now. 1, I hate Aunt Jane. She's mean and smells like cigarettes and cat pee, probably. Mike and Abby both have that in common. 1, Vanessa swings by the house and Abby thinks Mike is getting arrested. Again. Because it seems like Mike's in trouble a lot, and I think there's a reason for that. 1, police throw away Mike's meds because they think they know better than the doctors. It's not legal to throw away someone else's prescription. 1 dead man, 1 dipped dad. 1 dead mom, 1 dipped dad, and 1 disappeared brother. Family is hell trope. Ding, because it's 2023. If we don't have family problems, what do we have? 1, take your sister to work day at the Kids Murder Palace and Human Blender Emporium. 1, fuck you, balloon boy. I need to clean up my pants after that one. Do it in a montage. Clean up the place. 1, Abby meets Freddy and friends, and they have a good time. All cap. 1, Mike almost starts the Terminator mode on a 7 foot of pissed off animatronic Freddy, but thinks better of it and puts the chair down. 1, they really like pictures, foreshadowing, where Abby begins to understand, because she's different and special trope. And I gotta say, autism as a superpower is becoming a trope. I'm looking at you. I can't even remember which one it was. I think it was one of the Predator movies here recently that I just watched. It was like, he's autistic, but he's going to become this superpowered guy who knows how to help us. That's not how autism works. 1, realizing Abby's imaginary friends are the missing kids relating to the animatronics from Freddy's triangle of references that, if you played the game, you know this by now. 1, Abby uses well duh. How else do you explain it, foo? It's super effective. 1, Abby, if I asked you, would you wait in the car? No. Conversation that's at least honest. 1, I guess you know about this. Guess you figured it out. Ghost children possessing giant robots. Yep. Conversation. Because of course. 1, building a table fort has never been easier with your sister, police officer, giant murder robot friends filled with their own dead friends inside. Ding. One, it's all fun and games until you do something sort of fun. Bonnie is quite the shock rocker. Shock rocking. One, it's time to go home, Mike. Take care of yourself and your sister. But if you bring Abby back here, I'm going to shoot you. Grumpy, right? One, calling Aunt Jane because you got to go to work and you don't have much else of a choice. Giving up physically before you give up mentally. One, want a trade deal. You can have this nice dream and your family back every night, but just all you got to do is give us the girl. You know what? That sounds like a good thing, but he might would have rethought that. One, I made a mistake. Mike fuck up. He fucks up real hard. One, remnant extractor and scooper near miss. Thank Deus Ex fuck that one Chekhov's bolt was loosened by the first security guard and finally comes out. One, golden Freddy comes for Abby and silly Aunt Jane gets sleepy. Good night, silly Aunt Jane. Foo. One, Corey Kenshin, driver, pro FNAF fan cameo. Cause Dearest gotta eat. One, what do they want with my sister question? To make them like them. One of us. One of us. One of us. One of us. You know, Afton wants a baby creation. One, William Afton full backstory about who made Freddy's and where all the missing kids went and still are. One, the kids don't want to hurt anyone, but Afton has control explanation. One, Daddy's little girl has been trying to help them stay alive, at least as much as she can. One, deadly game of red light, green light, with a 7-foot tall walking blender for a face with aggressive AI. One, Mike saves Abby in the nick of time, but no 90s style. Surprise, motherfucker. This chicken is cooked pun that hurts the movie. Just kidding. One, Abby goes full bazinga in the ball pit. Surprise, motherfucker. Jungle hiding from Foxy. One, suddenly. Surprise, it's Springtrap Bonnie. The Golden Bunny leader of the gang himself, William Afton, makes an appearance in the flesh and springlock suit. One, Vanessa saves Abby, but can't save Mike or herself. Only Abby can do the secret children's special jutsu, drawing foo. One, being a smartass at a time like this used to put a smile on his face, but somewhere along the lines, Daddy Stu lost his sense of humor. When you stab me with the knife, Dick. Killing your own daughter, foo. One, they can see you now. They know what you did. No need to call the Avengers. Freddy and friends got this one. One, full and multiple springlock malfunction foo with Afton still inside, complete with I always come back. I'll be right back. Symmetry and robot vengeance. And finally, one, Vanessa in a coma and Afton crying in the kitchen setup for the future to come, with one final balloon boy scare. Dave says, the skulls on this one are a little complex, so we'll talk about it. But if you're a FNAF fan, 4 skulls. If you're not, this one can go as low as 2.5. But we'll talk about that in the gory details. So, MVPs for this one go to Matthew Lillard as Afton / Raglan. Josh Hutcherson as Mike. Piper Rubio as Abby. Elizabeth Lyle as Vanessa. And Mary Stuart Masterson as Aunt June. And she's a veteran, so, hats off, kudos to her and Matthew Lillard. I don't even know. I'm not convinced I've seen everything out of Matthew Lillard, but thank you guys. If you need to run off to see this one before you come back for the gory details, I promise you won't regret it. Make sure you go check this one out on Peacock or go out to see it. Hopefully this review isn't like 40 minutes because I'm going to do every reference in the gory details. But if you don't want spoilers, go watch this film. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you ring that little bell so you know when I drop these things. Boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, 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 ba-doom, boom, boom, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Since you didn't get it in the movie. All right, into the gory details. Let's do an actual why I think this movie is 4 stars for a FNAF fan versus as low as 2.5 for everyone else. Look, if you wanted murder robots, this is not the movie for you. This series has never been about murder robots. You're wanting the wrong things from it. It has never been about robots that killed things. It has always been about this weird guy who made these animatronics and created this franchise who was killing kids and stuffing them into his creations. It has always been this way. It will always continue to be this way. Now, that doesn't mean it's gotta be for you, you get me? There are other types of this movie, such as Willy's Wonderland, and there's even one that someone told me about that's like Banana Splits and Friends. And I've just got to say, if you want the sort of child endangerment sort of thing of The Hug on Hulu or, Willy's Wonderland, that's out there. That exists within this realm of genre. But FNAF has never and will never be that. And the reason I think that this movie works specifically as a PG-13 is it really has never been about kids getting killed by giant robots. That's always been a threat for the security guard, for the player who's having to sit there and watch them walk around. And I gotta say, it's a little bit of a weird thing, because if you think about it, if you're a veteran of the series, you have sat for 5 nights and had nothing happen to you while these animatronics ran around attacking things, and it's only when you get killed that anything bad happens, okay? So if you're a veteran, you've survived all the 5 nights. So nothing has ever happened to you. So it's like, for PG-13, I kind of get why this worked. Sure, the bits of food that you got because of the break-in, that was great. That gave us some catharsis for, hey, these things are dangerous, and gave you the establishment for they're dangerous. They have this remnant extractor thing or this scooper that is very dangerous. But that's never been what the series has been about. And that's a sort of weird sort of over-under for who does this movie belong to, or who is it for? And in one way, this movie was made for FNAF fans. That's why for FNAF fans it's a 4. It is what we wanted out of a film about FNAF as a series. And specifically, it is Silver Eyes. For everybody who doesn't know, these games also have books. And the first book, Silver Eyes, it pulls directly from the plot points of Silver Eyes, and the scene where Afton is hooked and spring locks and drugged to the back, that's lifted directly from Silver Eyes. All of that is. And it's a setup that connects it directly to the first game as well. So in the first game, you can't see in the kitchen. Why is that? Because Afton's in the kitchen, causing it to malfunction and glitch. Chica goes in there, Freddy goes in there to mess with him. Only thing you can hear in there is a flailing and a crying. And in the sort of like, I don't know. I don't want to go too far off into that before we do our video game crossover references. But I do want to say, if you came into this movie expecting it to be, well, these things are after the girl, you've missed the point of the series, that they are reanimated by children. And only Afton is the one who kills kids. Afton is the one who wants to murder and put these things into kids because they're technically the secret to immortal life. Okay, there's a whole drama plot with this whole backstory behind it that you probably didn't get out of the movie, and I get it. It has like Dark Souls level lore. Okay, it takes a video to explain it. That's like 4 hours. Okay, 8 hours in some instances explaining every game. That's sort of the problem with this movie, and with why I think the critics should be cut some slack, even though their reviews are terrible, is that it is a movie about 8 games, multiple books, multiple series of books, 800 hours of lore, roughly, and about 1,000 hours of game theory, okay? Okay, game theory has single-handedly put in 1,000 hours worth of work on this project. And that's what I ultimately kind of want to talk to you before we get off into the final list of references, is FNAF has always worked on us more psychologically. It has always been the, I'm trapped somewhere and I can't get free and this thing is coming for me and there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. So for those people who wanted it to be sort of gory and to be sort of the experience of what the animatronics could do to you, that's not really been the whole point. The point has been getting scared and having these things come for us and us not understand and us have to protect ourselves. And it's just telling that the Five Nights at Freddy's series has been played by children mostly, you know. But I grew up with this in like, it came out in like 2012 or something. I think it was like 2010. And when it came out then, I was still in college. I was still younger. I'll give myself the But it's like, I've followed the series throughout time, and it's never been one that's been overly gory or scary to the point of like what these things could do to you. It's always been the psychological horror over the more gross, mundane, physical violence. So for those who are like wanting that, go watch the others in this universe. FNAF's not your universe. It's not necessarily your bag. Because we're more scared of Afton. We're more scared of this wildly crazy, maniacal guy who has been killing kids for years and getting away with it because he can hide all the evidence. So let's jump off into this video game references because it's fucking 2 pages. I think. No, it's a page and a half. Alright, so we have music from 1983 telling us exactly when this is, which is a reference in and of itself to the first game. 1 Celebrate poster lifted straight from FNAF 1. 1 drink cup and paper on the desk and fan lifted straight from FNAF 1. 1 glitchy camera over the beginning opening scene from all of FNAF. 1 fan, 1 supply closet next to the security office from FNAF 1, 1 Foxy dum-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum scat from FNAF 1, 1 getting scooped by Freddy mask remnant extractor from FNAF's sister location, 1 FNAF arcade pizza games from FNAF 2 and Pizzeria Simulator, 1 kid's drawings on the wall from all of FNAF that end up telling the whole story, Midsommar style. Chica Let's Eat fan art drawings from all over the internet. 8-bit sprite title card opening minigames, including Purple Guy and Golden Bonnie Suit committing the 5 children disappearance murders that started FNAF. 1 6 a.m. alarm clock with correct beeping sound, but missing the yay from FNAF 1, 2, and 3 at least. 1 Dream Theory from FNAF 4 and GT Live. 1 summer of 82, 83, giving up the baseball card. Freddy's Pizzeria opens in the summer of 83. 1 Who is Mike Schmidt at FNAF series. The whole thing is about who is Mike Schmidt, and it's the story of Mike Schmidt. 1 The Unopened Box in the office in Raglan's office. What's in the box? What's in the fucking box? We don't know. It was never unlocked for us. 1 Child Stolen in the Black Car. FNAF 1, FNAF Pizzeria Simulator, Midnight Motorist minigame. 1 Purple Guy, It's the Phone Guy callback. FNAF 1 and 2. 1 Iffy Electricity, FNAF 1 and sister location. 1 Desk Phone with phone call, FNAF 1 through 3. 1 It's Me pop-up glitch flash from FNAF 1 and 2. 1 Balloon Boy from the series that, I gotta say, that particular one is from FNAF 2. 1 First Night is Always the Easiest, FNAF. 5 Ghost Children Hidden in the Robots. Matthew Patrick Why is that so hard to read? 1 Matthew Robert Patrick, aka MatPat, Master Lore Keeper of FNAF. If you want to know anything about FNAF, you go look up Game Theory. You go look up MatPat. 1 System Reset by Power Reboot at the Master Switch. That's FNAF 3. 1 Vanessa, aka Vanny, is out of place, but that's a security breach problem and a later problem. But it sort of makes sense given Vanny got stabbed and was in a coma, and that explains how she got in the coma. So I'm okay with where that ended up. 1 Prize Wall Encounter and reference to the puppet, FNAF 2 and Ultimate Custom Nights. And a little bit of FNAF 3. 1 Chica in the Kitchen, FNAF 1 reference. 1 Bonnie's in the Cleaning Closet, FNAF reference from 1. 1 Animatronic Murder Scream on Kill. 1 Disembodied Child Voice Call-Out Technology. That's from FNAF 3, Sister Location, and Pizzeria Simulator. It's very specific technology. 1 Sparky Doll Hoax Callback from FNAF 1 with the diner. 1 Shadow Freddy reference from FNAF 2, 3, and 4 next to the Sparky Dog in the same place where they use them to hide the bodies. 1 Baby Springtrap feeding Abby, A-B-B-Y, to Baby, B-A-B-Y. That is a FNAF sister location, and FNAF 3, 1:35 a.m. Fazbear Fright book reference. Yeah, it's going that deep. It's going that deep. Look, if you don't want to read that book, go look up the front cover of that book and you will know what I'm talking about. You will see the reference. 1 Golden Freddy and Golden Bonnie reference back to the Fazbear Diner OG puppets and the first location. 1 William Afton getting pinched in Golden Bonnie to make Springtrap, FNAF 2 and Silver Eyes. 1 I Always Come Back, FNAF 3 and Sister Location and Pizzeria Simulator and Ultimate Custom Night. And finally, 1 Happiest Day ending from FNAF 3 and Silver Eyes, which that's like 10 years of fucking FNAF lore. Alright, where can this go? Well, first off, this could go the exact Silver Eyes trilogy. It could move into the Fourth Closet. It can move into the Charlie story where we get kids who are not really kids. We can move into Security Breach. We could move, which again, that's Gregory and another new little girl. And them exploring Freddy Fazbear's in a modern, more futuristic society, with Afton now being put in the computer, just like Hank put Dale in the computer. But I guess that goes to what you think's fixing to happen, because I think with the references to the puppet and the COME spelling, that's a FNAF 2 reference if you didn't know. Everything that gets spelling like that, that's FNAF 2. So, or a little bit of FNAF 3, now that I think about it. The wall mini games might have had some spelling in them. But that's all in reference to what's happening in FNAF 2. So, that's where we get our puppet. That's where we deal with the other creator of Freddy Fazbear's, Henry Emily. And I gotta say, why not introduce Henry Emily now? Because that would have explored and spoiled too much, and you don't need to know he's alive until you get to FNAF 4, 5, and 6, and then really 6. So it's like, we were all told he had committed suicide, but turns out he's not dead. He's just trying to figure out how he can stop things. If you know, you know. And it's like, they could take this like 5, 6 different ways. And I'm excited personally to see where they take it, because we know this isn't the end. This is the start of things. This is the beginning of all of it. And we haven't even begun to explore the sort of levels of how far down this goes. So it's like, I think this is a great way to introduce people to the series who don't know anything about it. If you don't have all this background knowledge, you might be able to get in from the movie and just the movie. But there's so much to this, and with so much here, with the games, with everything else, with, like I said, there's like 15 some odd years of lore here. And so many games, it goes front back. Okay, and that's just the references sheet. But I think this review's long enough, so thank you guys so much. And hopefully you guys will go play these games, and hopefully you'll get the story, and you'll go watch MatPat, and you'll spend the next 10 years of your life really dedicated to understanding this series. No. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed these videos and you want to see more coming in the future. Sadly, this is the end of Spooktober. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll have a wrap-up video probably tomorrow about what the channel's doing and what I'm doing in the meantime, until I see you next time and crawl back into my grave. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed journeying with us, Dungeon Dwellers. I hope to see you on the next adventures. But until then, I've really appreciated you coming on these adventures with me. And I'm sad to call it here and to leave you all again, but this is where we say our goodbyes for a little while. So, catch you next time.